perspective. I'm not saying everything is bad. As I said, some managers definitely deserve to be paid handsomely. But then, we may have questions as to how effectively these boards are working. Are they doing their job properly? Because they also get paid. You know how much? Typically $500,000. They meet about 4 times a year. And each member, I'm talking about a large firm, they make about $500,000 a year. And imagine, and this is not their only job. They could be serving on 2 or 3 boards, and they could be, CEOs also of some other companies. Yes. So Apple CEO could be working on somebody else's board, and so he takes salary from Apple, and he also gets some compensation for serving on some other company's board. So all I'm saying is we need to be mindful of the important role that these board members play. Okay, so if a firm is not doing well, then Sears, for example, is about to go bankrupt. They are the court is giving some more time. See if Sears can survive. But once again, some people are blaming the board. The board was, the board was sleeping most of the time, while Sears was losing sales and closing stores, left and right throughout the country. All right, so let's move on here. I could spend maybe days talking about this here. All right, just some more here. So these are direct agency costs, like how managers can exploit, this agency relationship. One example of perk, very back, I believe it was, I don't remember the exact decade, there was a movie producer by the name of I want to give you at least one example of this perk, which you'll all agree, was unjustified. Paramount Studios, Hollywood, Paramount Studios, they hired an executive by the name of Jaffe, Jaffe, okay? He was hired from New York, that's where he was based. And so he had to go to Hollywood and begin work from there. But he was a big time follower of the Knicks, basketball team. So what he did, this guy was responsible for producing a movie called Fatal Attraction. Old movie, you see this movie, on some channels. I think the movie had Michael Douglas and Glenn Close, if I'm not mistaken, Fatal Attraction. So he was the producer of this movie, Jaffe. So what he did, once he was hired in Hollywood, he bought a jet, and he spent, according to a story in the Wall Street Journal, $5 to $7 million. Okay, the sole purpose of the jet was he missed, physically watching the Knicks game. The sole purpose of the jet was to fly him from Hollywood to New York on the days Knicks were playing, in that stadium. Let him watch the game and fly him back to Hollywood. Remember, it's a 5 to 6 hour, travel one way. So that was the purpose of the jet. So and all these stories, they come out once the CEO is fired. So when he was fired, this story came out. So this was one of the reasons why he was fired. He was using company resources for personal benefit. Okay. So my question to the board was, what were you doing? Were you sleeping, I mean, it's your job to monitor, what your CEO is doing, where the money is going. You ask questions, but, so obviously it was the board's fault. Indirect agency costs include lost opportunities due to managers' preference for business size, or I'm going to talk about it next time. So what I want you to do is take the quiz now. The way it works, I don't want to make it completely online. You need a sheet. This is how you will be taking quizzes in the semester. Write your name. And I'll show you the quiz here. You can log on and you can open this quiz on your monitor. And this is gonna be quiz number 1. It's you'll see the same questions I addressed this morning, so hopefully you'll all do well. There are 5 multiple choice questions. Okay. So I want you to, you don't have to write the questions on your answer sheet, just write the number, the question number, and